Greetings. This is Astrologer Pam Younghans, and here is my forecast for the week of June 27th to July 3rd, 2022. One of the more notable influences we're working with this week is an Argentine tango-like interaction between warrior Mars and two dwarf planets, Pluto and Eris. All three of these celestial figures are known for their intensity, drive, and courage, so we may see fiery outbursts and some drama in the days ahead. Mars is exactly conjunct maverick Eris in Aries on Monday. These two planets are considered siblings in a way, with Mars being the god of war and Eris being the goddess of discontent. When they connect, there is a strong tendency to act on impulse, especially in reaction to feeling ignored or discounted. Individual rights are very important to both Mars and Eris. Mars then squares Pluto in Capricorn on Friday, representing a conflict between the individual and the powers that be. Anger may be expressed explosively when Mars and Pluto are in hard aspect. Being conscious of our own knee-jerk reactions is essential, since arguments can escalate into full-blown power struggles with only slight provocation. The fallout from these aspects may be strongest on Monday and Friday, but we will feel their impact throughout the week. In great contrast to the energies just described, sensitive Neptune's influence is strong this week. The watery planet comes to a standstill on Tuesday, June 27th. It then turns to face backward, going retrograde until it stations direct on December 3rd. When a planet comes to a standstill, either to go retrograde or direct, we tend to feel its energies more powerfully. With mystical Neptune, this can mean an opening of our intuition and other spiritual senses, an expansion of the high heart of compassion, and an enhanced desire to transcend the dramas of human life. But there is always a shadow side of the planets to be aware of. With strong Neptune energies, we can also feel very ungrounded and want only to escape reality. This can tempt us to choose apathy and avoidance as a means to that end, or to use substances to help us forget our troubles. With a healthy Neptune response, when faced with situations that cause our heart's pain, we move more deeply into the energies of higher love and understanding. We find ways to reinforce a belief in a divine plan at work in the world. We choose meditation, prayer, and creative imaginings as our preferred methods of rising above those situations that otherwise threaten to cause us deep anguish or disillusionment. On Tuesday, the same day that Neptune stations, a new lunar cycle begins. The moon and the sun will conjoin at 7:52 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, when both lights are at 7 degrees 22 minutes of Cancer. The strongest aspect in the new moon chart is a very tight square between the sun-moon and the planet Jupiter, which will be at 7 degrees 16 minutes of Aries. When the great planet forms a hard aspect, it is easy to overdo, to overreact, to over anything. With the lights in sensitive Cancer, this new moon brings with it a heightened feeling of vulnerability. This can cause us to take things personally, which may result in a quick descent into fight or flight mode, where we either withdraw or respond defensively. What will be very important this week is to remember that Cancer the crab has a third option in how it responds to a perceived threat. Crabs can sidle, going sideways to remove themselves from a conflict. We can likewise use this capacity in handling emotionally charged situations that overwhelm us and interfere with our ability to respond rationally. If we step off to the side, either literally or figuratively, we can then take the time to come back to center. We can observe what has happened from a new vantage point with greater objectivity. Then, when our pulse and breathing have returned to normal, we can go back to address the situation more calmly and without the need to defend ourselves. As we enter the month of July this week, we are embarking on a major passage. I will write more about this as we move through the next 4 weeks, but want to give you a heads up about the Uranus-Mars North Node alignment that will be exact on July 31st and August 1st. It's hard to pinpoint exact manifestations of any aspect that involves Uranus, which is the planet of surprises. However, it's safe to say that our perceptions of time and other measurements of physical reality will be going through major changes over the course of July and August. Since Uranus, in its higher frequency, is a representative of divine mind, and the North Node symbolizes humanity's evolutionary growth, there are also opportunities for us to come more online with our own connection to intuition and to messages from the higher realms. However, on the human level, we also want to be prepared for people to be reacting more impulsively as they respond to a deep need to rebel against the status quo. The influence of this alignment will start to build next week due to Mars making ingress into Taurus on July 4th. Here is my list of the important planetary aspects that are occurring this week, along with my brief interpretations of each. On Monday, Mercury is sextile Chiron. This aspect can contribute to a greater feeling of confidence in our ideas and decisions. Also on Monday, Mars is both sextile Saturn and conjunct Eris. Although Mars and Eris can be very impulsive in action, today's sextile between Mars and disciplined Saturn can help us slow down and respond to situations more responsibly. On Tuesday, Neptune stations retrograde. Make time this week to go within, to reconnect with your compassionate heart. Remind yourself that you are an eternal and infinite spiritual being, only presently utilizing a human form and personality so that you might learn and grow in your capacity for unconditional love, which is the ability to hold the frequency of love under all conditions. Also on Tuesday, we have the new moon at 7:52 p.m., when the sun and moon are square Jupiter, and that time is in Pacific Daylight Time. As we begin a new lunar cycle, remember that everyone is feeling especially vulnerable right now. Fear of the unknown may cause some to be defensive and overprotective as a way to regain some sense of security. There are no major aspects exact on either Wednesday or Thursday. On Friday, the sun is sesquiquadrate Saturn. We may feel a heaviness today due to a deep caring and empathy. Some may be especially protective and needing to spend time alone. Friday is also the day that Mars is exactly square Pluto. Tempers flare easily now, inspiring compulsive actions and instinctual reactions. On Saturday, Mercury is trine Saturn, sextile Eris, and square Neptune. On the one hand, we feel confident in our knowing of best actions. On the other hand, we may be dealing with a bit of foggy brain, leading us to question our decision. On Sunday, Venus is sesquiquadrate Pluto. Intense emotions and a lack of trust may cause problems in relationships today. Also on Sunday, Mercury is quincunx Pluto. The mind is somewhat suspicious and questioning of people's motivations with this aspect. This is not the best day to attempt to have a calm or rational discussion of issues. If your birthday is this week, your innate empathy seems to be even stronger than usual this year, which can result in your feeling overwhelmed by the problems of others. Do your best to set good boundaries so that you don't have to construct protective walls later. Give yourself the same level of self-care that you naturally wish to give to others. Know that lasting trust is built slowly, as are mutually nurturing, fulfilling relationships. This is Astrologer Pam Younghans, wishing you many insights this week. Thank you for being with me on this journey.
We hope that you have enjoyed this article. For over 30 years, we at Inner Self have sought to encourage new attitudes and new possibilities. For more inspiration, visit us at innerself.com. Thank you. Visit the Inner Self Market for new attitudes and new possibilities. You'll find inspiring books, wonderful music CDs, audiobooks, card decks, candles, jewelry, gifts, all kinds of wonderful things. Visit us at market.innerself.com.